Hi everyone, welcome to episode 18 of YarnAdelaide Knits. A mostly knitting podcast with a few other bits of knitting, bits and pieces, but mostly knitting. Thanks for stopping by. Episode 18. It's Thursday, early afternoon, Thursday the 27th of October. Starting to almost get into Christmas mode. Thanks to all the returning viewers. So glad you stopped by again. Somebody's just started a lawnmower, and my dog doesn't like that. I might just go shut the side back door. Someone just started the lawnmower. I wanted to podcast outside, but it didn't happen because there was loud music outside and the neighbour was home, so you can kind of hear him. And he's just starting the lawnmower, so yeah, Kitty's not going to be happy. Hopefully it won't dominate too much. So yeah, welcome back all my regular viewers, and thank you so much for stopping by if you're new to seeing me. And my name's Nicole. This podcast is coming to you from Adelaide in South Australia, and shout out to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much. Getting there. I'd love to get to 100 by Christmas. So tell your friends. You can find me on Ravelry as Cola Girl. There is a YarnAdelaide Knits podcast group on Ravelry, and you can also find me on Instagram as ColaGirl74. I'm on Twitter, but not very much, as ColaGirl74 again, and I have an Etsy store called Cola Girl Collective AU, and my email is colagirl74@hotmail.com. So yeah, a little bit more admin. The Changing Seasons knit along finishes on the 1st of November, which is next Tuesday. It'll be sometime next Tuesday morning sometime. I'll probably close off the thread, so hopefully you can get everything finished, or even if it's almost finished and you don't think you'll quite get there, post it in the chatter group, because there is a prize for the chatter group as well. Yeah, the more the merrier. I'd love to see what you're working on or what you're trying to finish. It's a knit along for socks and shawls. So yeah, which is a good smallish projects for Christmas if you're thinking about Christmas knitting. And yeah, so today I have, just comparing with my notes to jog my memory so I don't waffle on and go off in a tangent. Today I have a finished object, not the finished object that I thought I would have, but there's something different that tickled my fancy and took over my knitting time. I have a few works in progress. I've got some acquisitions. I've got a little bit of an update of Take Charge of my stash, and there will be a shop update on Friday, so I'll show you what will be going into the shop. I've got a couple of acquisitions. I know I said I wasn't going to buy anything until the Black Friday sales, but it's my birthday next week, so they have birthday prezzies. So yeah, I can always justify it some way or another. So first off, I have a finished project, which is it's finished, it's not blocked, ends have sewn in, but I haven't trimmed them off. It's the Strata shawl by Shara Designs. She's also a podcaster from Melbourne, and this is knit in a 8-ply merino possum and silk that my mother-in-law got from New Zealand when she went over there for a holiday, probably about 4 years ago, I think. So yeah, so when it blocks out, I think it'll be a little bit wider because it's not quite, yeah, that would be my arm, my wingspan, and that's sort of stretched out, so I'm sure when it's blocked, it will be basically my wingspan. So yeah, quite a nice, easy knit that has a bit of a change in stitch definition, or still not stitch definition, stitches to keep your interest. I'd say it's a bit of an advanced beginner shawl, being that it has stitch changes and to broaden your experience with your knitting. And yeah, there's some yarn overs, a little bit of lace and some bobbles. Yeah. My dog really does not like vacuum. She doesn't like them either. She doesn't like lawnmowers, she doesn't like vacuum cleaners. She doesn't like anything with a motor. She's alright with cars, but has absolutely no road sense. Anyway, so yeah. And what I also liked about this pattern is that it wasn't ridiculously priced. It was only $4 Australian, which is, I think, is quite reasonable. And yeah, quite reasonable, and that was another reason why I chose to do the shawl. And also, Shara is doing a knit along in her podcast for it. That needs to be done by the 31st. It's got until the end of October, so that will be entering in there. And she's also got a year-long stash diving, or using up your stash project, so that will get a double dip. And it'll also, I'll put it in my changing seasons cowl as well. So thank you, Shara, a lovely pattern. That was also done, yeah, the yarn was the Possum Merino silk, and it was done on 5mm needles. So that's the only finished object I have. I do have a couple of works in progress, which is in one of my project bags, in my little pony project bag. That is my medium-sized project bag. Oh, I finished halfway through a row. There you go. So what I wanted to show you was something that I had almost finished. Now, there's a reason why, there's two reasons why these aren't finished, is that the needle that I was using, I broke it picking up the bag, and so I got a new needle, and I didn't get the same needles that I got, although I got the same size needles, I just got a different brand. I got some Addy lace 2.25s. I thought that was the only one that only 2.25 size needles that Charmaine from YarnAdelaide had in stock that had a long-ish cable. So I got, yeah, the Addy lace with the 100cm cable. So almost up to finishing the toe. Unfortunately, I think that's all the yarn that I've got left. Now these are going to be a present for my stepfather, probably for his birthday. His birthday is in the first couple of weeks of November as well. And yeah, he might get a different colour toe. I don't think he will mind so much. That's the first one done. They're a basic vanilla sock. I did a twisted 1x1 rib. I used the heel pattern and gusset pattern from the SKYP socks that I had done previously, so that was just a pattern lying around that I go, okay, I'll do that. Yeah, which is kind of a heel that I prefer, only because I suppose it's because I know it and I find that it fits well. So yeah, and yeah, almost up to the toe shaping of that one. So yeah, the yarn is Lana Grosser. I think it's called Mulewet or something like that. It's in German. My German's no good. So yeah, it's a 75-25 wool nylon. So yeah, a nice sturdy pair of socks. tell my dog off again. There we go. Bring her inside. It'll stop her obsessing over it. So, yes, they will be for a gift. And then I haven't done any of the other the Skype socks that I was doing. I haven't done any more of those, so that's why they're not being shown today. But I did cast on these. Now, I'm just at the hairdresser this morning, and so I took these along with me, and I'm halfway through a row, and I had to put it down. These are again just a basic vanilla sock. They're what is it, on a Zuba ball. Again, 1x1 twisted rib. These ones are on a 2.5 millimeter needle. These are higher bamboo needles. Yeah, and these are the really long cable. I got these needles to do the 2 socks at a time because of the extra long cable, I think. And Higher did the longer cable. I think they're 120 centimeters, and they're a fixed cable, I think, because I usually use the Knit Pros and they only go up to 100, I think. I could be wrong, but at the time when I bought them, these had the longer cable, which was a few years ago now. So yeah, I think these might be for Justin for his birthday, which is 4 days after mine. So mine's Friday week, and then his is the following Monday, and then my stepfather's is the week after again. So a few November babies. And yeah, they're in the same bag as well. I've got 2 lots of socks because I was running out of project bags that were empty. It's because there's a few projects that you guys haven't seen for a while that I've kind of lost a bit of interest in. They'll come out again when the need arises. They're the 2 pairs of socks that I have been knitting on in the last fortnight since I last podcast. And then I have been doing a little bit of my coffee date shawl. I'm not sure how much further I am going to get in this one. This is the coffee date shawl by CC Allman, which is Geeky Girl Knits podcast. Yeah. So this is how far I have got. I am using, the red is Kathy's Fibres with a bit of stellina through it in a 4-ply in the dark red. The white is White Gum Wool, the ethical 4-ply merino in, what colour is that called? It might be called Everlasting. No, Natural. Yeah. And then the grey is Blacker Yarns in the Tamar in the Valancy colourway, which is a grey, it's a browny grey. It looks grey on the screen. It's a pretty true indication of the colours. So yeah, I'm starting to get low. That's all I've got of the Tamar left, but I've still got quite a bit of the red and the white. So yeah, this is that's how it finish. So yeah, it's an asymmetrical shawl that basically CC says keep going until you run out of yarn. So when that's finished, that will be a good stash roster as well. It's getting a lot more because I end up having to increase a stitch every row. It's getting more, taking longer and longer to get through each row. Let me have a sip of my coffee. Otherwise it gets cold and not very nice. They're the only whips I have been using, actively working on over the past couple of weeks. There are a few whips that I haven't touched for a while that I probably should pay some attention to. But you guys know how it is when you don't, for the ones that don't monogamously work on one project at a time. Going to some acquisitions. I got, being that it's my birthday next Friday, I justified myself into buying some yarn that I've been wanting to buy for a while. I got some Dingo Dye Works in, what did I get? I got her Rigididge, which is 85% extra fine merino and 15% nylon. So it's 85% extra fine Australian merino, which is awesome. It's really nice. It's got a little bit of a halo to it, so it's nice and soft, but still has that that woolly look to it as well, because it has that little bit of a halo. And I got the Papunya colourway, which is right up my alley with the reds and the hot pinks. It's just my cup of tea. And then I also got the Alstonville. I think it's got Dutch heritage wherever it was. It's somewhere in Australia. She did say where it was, because I watch her podcast as well. And I can't think of it. But it's another nice speckled dye. And Peter did put these two together when she was doing an update. And she said they went together, and I thought she was mad. But since I see them in real life, they do go together, and I will show you a little bit later that I think these will be two of the colours that I'm going to do in an exploration station. I've dyed up a couple of other colours that I think will go nicely together, because the speckle has blacks and greys and pinks and greens and a bit of red, and the reds and the pinks from this go with this, and then I've got some, and there's a bit of brown in there. I've dyed up a semi-solid brown, and I've got a grey speckle, so I'll show you them together. Yeah, and of course you get fluff that tickles your nose. So yeah, I got those, and so thank you, Peter. They're gorgeous, and I love the way her skein winding skills are excellent. They're awesome. Excellent. I can't even get my tongue around that one. Yeah, and I've been watching the way that she winds them up and been trying to adopt that method, and I'm getting the hang of it, which is cool, because they're nice and tight but not overly tight, and they're very neat. So yeah, watch how Peter winds her skeins into skeins. Very good. Okay, so take charge of my stash. So I did, last time I was up to 3.910, 3 kilos 910 grams stash out of what I've knitted this year, and the stash in has been 3.96, so 3 kilos and 960 grams have been come in this year. So my strata shawl was 145 grams, so it was just shy of 3 balls, which they were 100 metre balls, so it's just shy of 300 metres that I use. Yeah, because Shara was talking about her guidelines were a bit different, but I've used about 300 metres. There you go. So that brings me up to 4.055 kilos. And then I bought 2 balls of yarn, so that was 200 grams in, so that's 4.160. So I'm still about 100 grams down. So hopefully I'll get the coffee date shawl finished and a couple of socks finished over the next couple of weeks, and I'll be up there again. Hopefully by the end of the year I want more yarn to have gone out than come in. I'm not winning. I was winning earlier and then I lost. And I don't think I buy that much yarn, but I obviously do. I don't knit as much as what I think I do. But then, yeah, I used to knit more, but now I haven't been because of a little miss. But then I do have a lot of projects that are sitting there hibernating, not being attended to, that if I got them off the needles, I'd be way out in front. Let's talk myself into that. Yes. So, yeah. I'm not sure what's happening at Guild, what workshop is happening next month or next weekend. I have a funny feeling that there might not be a workshop because it is a craft fair weekend that our meeting falls on. The quilt fair, the November quilt fair that happens at the showgrounds. The Guild will have a stand there. So I don't think there is going to be a workshop on the Saturday because a lot of us, or a handful of us, will be volunteering at the craft fair. So I think that might not be happening. So yeah, couple of things I wanted to show you. I have entered the advent calendar for the Spicy Homemaker, which I was supposed to show you last podcast, but I clearly forgot about it. But this time I'm going to show you. I wanted to do, there was two ways you could go about it. You could enter the, nominate yourself for the large advent calendar where it was designed for, you know how on the 1st of December you open up an advent calendar and you open up one every day and you have a chocolate or whatever, or you get a little treat or open up a little present every day, or you get your opal advent calendar and you get one of those. So every day leading up to Christmas, so 25 days including Christmas Day, you get to open something. So you get a little Christmas treat every day. So I entered that and it was a mini skein swap. So you open, so you swap, the large one was 25 mini skeins, and then there was a small one that was for 5. So I guess rather than opening them on a daily, you open them on the weekly. I guess you open them from the 1st, which is a Thursday, and then there's, I think it worked out that there was 4 weeks, and then you got to open up the extra one on the Christmas Day. So I entered the large one, and then I said if you need an extra person for the small one, I put my hand up, and Melissa, yeah, said I need your help. So I obliged for the smaller one as well. So my small one is for Mona, who is in Norway. Yeah, so this is my mock little advent calendar. It's cute. These are all the mini skeins that I've wrapped up. So there's 5, and these are a couple of crocheted snowflakes that I crocheted up a couple of Christmases ago that I got obsessed with, and they were Christmas gifts for the family a few Christmases ago. I chose the purple because the purple was one of Mona's favourite colours that in the questionnaire that we did. So there will be a surprise for each week, and then there's a little gift for her to open on Christmas morning, and then there's a little gift that she can open as soon as she receives it. So it's all ready to go. I went to Cheapest Chips yesterday because I've got a whole bag like of a bazillion Christmas cards that I don't know where is. And I haven't sent Christmas cards out for a few years now because of the postage costs, and we all sort of are in contact with each other through social medias and what have you. So that was my Christmas, or email and what have you. So your Christmas cards get kind of sent that way. But I went to Cheapest Chips yesterday, which is like a $2 shop that I'm sure the Australian viewers know what I'm talking about. And I got some Australian Christmas cards, which I thought was awesome. So got kangaroos, Sydney Harbour Bridge, the Opera House, It has Merry Christmas down the bottom, so that's what makes it Christmassy. What else? Kangaroos with there, kangaroos. And koalas. So, try and get the glare. So I was pretty stoked with that because when I do swaps for overseas swap partners, I do like to send a bit of an Australia over to them. So I was pretty stoked that I found them. So I was able to send a Christmas card for Mona, which is already written up, and I was able to tell her what all the minis were going to be. I have numbered them 1 to 5, so she will know what I'm talking about. I hope I make sense when she gets it. I hope her English is very good. She has been corresponding with me in English. I don't know whether that has a translator or something with the emails through Ravelry or what have you, but yeah, I think she speaks English. So so there's some chocolates and bits and teas and some treats, and I won't give too much away in case she's watching. So that will, and she's already told me that she's sent mine, so I'm hoping I need to weigh that, and I pray to God that it's under 500 grams so it doesn't cost me a fortune to send overseas. And then I've got Courtney in the US, and I haven't wrapped up hers yet, so hers is all in there ready to go. So there's White Gum Wool, there's Brennan Ollie, there's Stranded in Oz, there's Blacker Fibres, there's Kathy's Fibres, Blacker Yarns, Kathy's Fibres, Moseley Park, Circus Tonic Handmade, some Madeline Tosh, there's also some Coop Knits, and I think that's about it. And there's some Tracy Henwood from Knit Spin Weave. She's been dying, so I've got one of her sock yarns minis in there as well. And there's a couple of bits and pieces for her. I just need to label all these up and wrap it up. I found at Cheapest Chip yesterday some of this. So this is, what does it say? It's just mesh ribbon. So I'm hoping that I'll make sort of some bonbon type things when I wrap these up. I've got this and the gold. I'll make a bit of an advent calendar out of that as well. So they're improvising. Being that it's ultimately going to get destroyed, I'll see how it goes, see what I can come up with. And it's kind of time consuming and a little hard to do when I've got a 2-year-old going, "Ooh, pretty, what are you doing, mummy? Can I help?" and wants to touch and feel and run amok with everything. So yeah, that can be a little bit strenuous. But it's all good. It'll be good when she's a little bit older and I'll do all these crafty bits and pieces, and yeah, it'll be quite cute. She does like to colour in, but I haven't bought my colouring out for a while because I've got some nice pencils that I don't want dropped and shattered, and then she, has the attention span of a budgie, and she'll scribble for 10 seconds and go off and do something else. So yeah, I've bought it out once, and she's been quite happy to have her own pencils, and Mummy has her pencils, so she hasn't been obsessing over, "Oh, what have you got, Mummy?" which is good. So I'll have another go at it as well. And I guess that's basically everything. I'll do a bit of a shop update that I'm going to do in my Etsy shop. I've got a little bit of yarn that I've been dyeing up, and I've been making some stitch markers, as you may have seen on my Instagram account, that I managed to get some stitch markers, and did quite a few, considering it was all within an hour. I must be sort of streamlining the way I make them now, which is good. So I ended up doing a heap of progress keepers. I got the claw, and then made with love, little love heart. People that have purchased my yarn have seen these, so they know what they look like. And then I have made up some stitch markers that I've got like little ones. So that's the gold jump ring with a pink bead. So there's 10 of those in a set, and then there's your little progress keeper with the made with love. And then I've also done a end of row stitch marker with the 2 beads. So yeah, they'll be in that kind of set. So you get 10 of the singles, a progress keeper with the lobster claw, and then one of the end of row stitch markers. Now I've got gold with the pink, I've got gold with the blue, gold with purple. It's probably not going to really come up very well, but if you go to the Etsy store you'll see photos of them when I do an update. And gold with the red. I'm waiting for more lobster claws to come in, because I've also got bronze ones as well, but I'm waiting for the bronze lobster. I've got bronze made with love hearts come in. I'm just waiting for lobster claws. And then I've got silver with the blue, silver with yellow, and silver with pink. So the tedious task of taking photos of these is going to be fun. I will be doing that a little bit later on today and see how far I get. Just trying to find the perfect light, because I thought my last lot of photos that I took were going to be okay, but they give a good colour, like colour image, but I wonder whether they're a bit bright. So I need to sort of wait until it's a little bit overcast and the sun is shining. So yeah, but anyway, we'll see what I can come up with. I've got 3 more bags to go in the shop. These are the small project bags, but these are pretty sock size. They would fit 1 to 2 skeins comfortably in the bottom. So I've got My Little Pony with the blue stripes down the bottom. That's purple My Little Pony. You know what's cute? My Little Pony comes on TV just before I take Silas to school, and Scarlett has been quite interested in it. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about that. And then I've got another small one with the pink flowers with the blue, and then the pink down the bottom, and then I've got a green one, green and yellow. So I'll take photos of those and they'll go into the shop as well. But what you've probably most been waiting for is the yarn. So I calmed down a bit with the colours, and this is, what did I call this? Harvest Time. It reminded me, because it's got variations of pale browns with a little bit of green in there. It reminded me of when the wheat and the barley are almost ready for reaping, for harvesting. So they're sort of all dried off from the top on the heads, and then it's still a little bit green down the bottom because it's still essentially alive. So yeah, that reminded me of Harvest Time. You can see just a little bit of green and the browns. This was either going to be Harvest Time or Pistachio, because the green is just that nice pale green. It gives that little bit of interest. So there will be 2 skeins of that. Then I had a play with a new colour that I got in. And yeah, it's got a nice bright blue with a bit of pink. With a bit of pink that, because I put the pink in first, the hot pink in first, and then I put the bluey green, and I think the bluey green has taken over the pink, so it's a bit purple and pink. So yeah, and I named this one Sully, because it reminds me very much of Sully from Monsters Incorporated. But I've only got one of those. I sold one and I went up to the Blackwood Knitters last week, up at the Artisan Cafe. And then I did a grey speckle. Who's talking to me? And did a grey speckle. So it's got a little bit of, it's grey with some darker grey speckles, some black and some navy blue speckles through it. This one's really nice, but there will only be one of those because this one's going in my exploration station. So I named this one Grey Nomad, yeah, which I really like. Sort of trying to do a few more unisex colours that are more that the boys will wear, shall we say. That, yeah, not so much that. I don't want to sort of pigeonhole them, but I know my boys, some guys will wear this as socks, but then my boys wouldn't do it. But yeah, some guys can cope with bright colours, some can't. And then I got this one. This one's red with a tanny orange through it. And it reminded me very much of rhubarb. You get the varying colours of the red. I was going to call it Joyce's Choice, which is Justin's grandmother, that passed away a few years ago now. She loved rhubarb, but I didn't think people would understand the link, so I thought, well, rhubarb crumble it is, which is delicious. So yeah, that actually comes up quite nicely on the screen. So yeah, and then I've got a couple of other bits that I haven't skeined up because I dyed them yesterday and they weren't, and because I don't get to start dyeing until early afternoon when Scarlett's asleep, they didn't quite dry in time, so they're out drying this morning while I was at the hairdresser. So this is a more of a brown speckle, but being there are other colour pigments in the brown colours that I dye, you've got splashes of hot pink and yellow, and I think I've even seen a little bit of blue in them as well, which is awesome. So yeah, that one will be nice once I reskein it and skein it up. So let's see if I can. See that? Got a splotch of red in there and that, so I think that's quite nice. I'm just trying to think of names because I haven't named it yet. So there'll be 2 skeins of that one, Here's the other one. It's still a bit untidy, but I thought I couldn't not show you it. A bit of yellow and that in there as well. And then I did a tonal brown, but one of these skeins will be for me. Tonal brown. So yeah. So this one is the other skein that I want to use in the exploration station. Yeah, looks a bit better. So these are the 4 colours that I want to use. So I did a semi-solid colour. Usually I do speckles and go at the other end. But so I wanted to sort of calm all the other colours down a bit, being that they're lots of colour in them. So yeah, and being that there's browns in this, and there's greys in this, and the reds go with this to give it a bit of a big pop of colour. So yeah, I'm hoping that that goes nicely, and then when it's done it will go with just about anything that I wear. There's blues, there's greens, there's pinks, there's reds, there's browns, there's grey, there's black, there's everything in there. So it will be the one-stop shawl next winter. So yeah, so 2 rhubarb crumbles, 2 harvest time, 1 sully, 2 chocolate something, I think it will be called. Chocolate or something to do with hot chocolate or coffee. I think there'll be 2 of those, 1 grey nomad, and I think this will be called iced latte. There you go. There's a coffee one. The other one I'll have to think of some kind of hot drink, whether it be chai or something or other. So yeah. So that will go in the shop update. There'll be 3 bags and a handful of stitch markers. So that will be, if all goes to plan, probably about 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is Australian Central Time. So I have to start uploading, ready to do an update. And I think that's about it. These are all the yarn. Yarn is on my Drover sock, which is 75% superwash Australian merino. So I have been told. I got clarity of where the wool was from, and it's Australian merino, which I'm so happy about, and 25% nylon. So I'm pretty chuffed that I've got another Aussie yarn in my shop, which is what I'm all about. Trying to be patriotic to my country. I think that's about it, guys. Don't forget to enter into the Changing Seasons cow. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you like what you see, and check out my Etsy store. And if you like, follow me on Instagram. I'll see you in a fortnight, which makes it probably about 10th, 12th of November, something like that. And that will be when I draw for the prizes, which for the cow, which I should tell you about, shouldn't I? Bear with me. Prize for the Changing Seasons cow is Charm the Finch's Rainbow mini set from Circus Tonic Handmade, which is in her Fiesta fingering 4-ply, which is 100% Australian superwash merino. Yeah, so there's 100 grams. There's 7, approximately 18 grams, so there's 126 grams there. You can make something quite cute with that. So that will be one of the prizes for the finished objects thread. There will be a prize for the chatter thread, which will be a Ravelry pattern up to the value of $6 US. And then there will be a lucky prize for if you use the hashtag on Instagram of the Changing Seasons cowl. I know there are a couple there already. Thanks, Christine, for joining in. Yeah, so yes, I actually, and while I speak of Christine, get my honourable mention this week. Thanks for putting an Instagram photo of my podcast in the background of one of your photos. That was much obliged. Christine has the Yarn About Yarn podcast, which is just an audio podcast, and now she's gone to a video YouTube podcast. But she's been busy over the last few weeks painting her house, so I haven't seen one for a little while. Hopefully she'll be getting back into the swing of things soon, and we'll see you again. So yeah, Christine gets my honourable mention this week. I think that's about it of everything I have to show you. Yeah, I'll see you in a fortnight, and I'll show you other birthday goodies that I got, because I've got something due. I sort of end up buying things for myself and just telling the family that I got them. So I've got some Give Me a Crown project bags coming that I'll show you next time. They're due either today or tomorrow. They were shipped on Monday, but they've got to come out of New South Wales. So things are easy enough to get into New South Wales postage wise, but getting them out, they kind of go via Darwin sometimes. Or New Zealand maybe, I don't know, but they tend to take longer to get out of there than to get in there. Because all my mum's family live on the east coast, so yeah, we've had things get to them in 3 days, and then we've had things get out to us. It takes 2 weeks. So yeah, and that's before Australia Post only went to 3 days a week. So yeah, that's all fun and games. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy your knitting. See ya. I completely forgot something. Being that it's my birthday next month and the podcast turns 1 next month, I'm going to offer a discount code in my Etsy store. It will be the code I'll put down the bottom here, but it will give you 10% off all your purchases, which yeah, just put in coupon code BDAY10, so BDAY10, and yeah, so, and that will run for the whole of November. I think I've just sorted it out on Etsy before I started here. And yeah, so hopefully you can get yourself some Christmas presents or some birthday presents yourself. So yeah, I'll go and rescan some yarn now and finish my coffee. See you guys.